Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Action Popcast with myself, Nick, APD, and show regular. I don't want to call her special guest anymore. She's still special. She's all special to us, but she's on this thing quite a lot. So it's our cat, Vadersgirl. Cat, how are you?
I'm okay. It's been a rough week, but I'm pulling up and happy to be here. So,
well, no, you're doing brilliantly with everything that's going on. So credit to you, mate. Credit to you.
thank you.
But are you ready to discuss a film that we both love, that we both picked on an absolute whim because we're like, we really need to do a show. We both like this film. Let's do this.
Right? I do. Actually, can I tell a joke first before we start? Before we say hi?
Is it going to be on par of a PGM joke?
It's a par for this.
Okay.
Just follow it. Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Sheesh! There you go. There's your joke.
Anyway, so the rest of the evening we're going to be... That was...
It was bad, right?
That was terrible.
That's why I didn't tell you about it before.
That was absolutely terrible, mate. That's fine, but I'll let you off. I can only apologise, chat. People watching live.
I don't apologize for my
She's
bad
got
joke.
no shame. She's got no shame.
I don't.
Look,
I don't.
You've got the power to do comments. You've got moderation rights. You can tonight. You're going to do the comments. You go for it.
Okay.
I'm not touching anything. You can do it.
I got it.
So you're just going to bring them up. I got to do it. Okay. I was just making you do all the work. So, thank you to everyone in attendance this evening. But first of all, an early attendee this evening was our Andy, Triple HDX. He's jumping on to say an early hello. So thank you for joining us, Andy. We've also been joined by... We've also, we're both playing with the mouse, aren't we? That's what's happening. We've also been joined by our Jojo. She says, hope everybody is feeling groovy tonight. Good to see you, Jojo. And just because it's Star Wars, our man Des T. Hello there, everyone. Hello, Des. Thank you for joining us this evening, sir. We've also been joined by Kieran Boyce. Says, hello, Andy, Nick, Des T, and Jojo. Good to see you, Kieran. Thank you for attending, as always, sir. And who else have we got in? Oh, more from Des. He says, I'll do, Nick. I do good. Oh, we've also been joined by the lovely Emma C. She says, she says, evening all. Evening, Emma. How are you? Be seeing you soon. Also joined by the one, the only, the man who has returned, Pod Racing Palpatine. He says, hello there.
Hello.
And who else? We got Jonathan Redmond. He says, evening all. Hello, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us this evening. Good to see you. This is weird not doing this and them coming up.
You keep wanting to do the mouse, aren't you?
I keep going to do the mouse. We've also been joined by Fuller's Figures. He says, allow myself to introduce myself. Wow, that was terrible, wasn't it?
It was.
How about no?
I don't know. I love that line.
So good to see you, Connor. Good to see you. We got anyone else in, Cat? No hands.
Yeah, I know.
We've been joined by TJC. Says evening all with a clinky clink of the glasses. Good to see you, man. Also, the man from Ireland, a super spanner by his very nature. Our Jared O'Connor says, howdy. Hey, you groovy people. Yeah, groovy. Good to see you, Jared. Thank you for joining us, sir. Who else we got?
Thank you for the likes button, Kieran.
Oh, yeah. Kieran saying, hit that like button, you Muppets. I mean, I'm not sure I'd go as far as calling you all Muppets. Maybe Connor, but not everyone. So,
see?
Yeah.
Gerard appreciated my joke.
Beginning with a bang. Rock on, Cat. Wow. That's all it takes. It took one person, didn't it, really?
See, I'm good. I'm golden for the rest of it. So
you got... Coxie's toy cantina has joined us with I put the grr in swinger, baby. Yeah. So good to see you, Coxie. Ooh, shagtastic. Monkey Boys Toys, another of our super spanners. Good to see you, MBT.
We're going to ignore Jonathan's comment. That's hurtful, Jonathan. That's hurtful.
Wow, a joke worse than PGM. Now, that's not something you see every day.
Listen, he did it in the movie. It's fine, okay? It's fine.
He is a comedian.
It's all good. One person liked it, so I'm good. I'm happy.
How about yes, says Gilster. 37. Good to see you, Gil. Thanks for coming along this evening. And my uncle himself, Mr. Keith Knight.
Hey,
Keith.
Keith.
Evening, everyone. Hello, Keith. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you.
Okay.
And got anyone else?
Nope, they're just everybody's talking to each other.
Brilliant. If anyone else comes in this evening, we will of course say how do as and when we find a spot to do so. So yeah, real impact. It's been a while since we've done one of these together, Kat. So are you feeling a bit rusty?
A little bit. I think that's why I said that horrible joke, just to get the awkwardness out of the way. So now it should be smooth sailing and a lot better after that.
Yeah, you really set
you cannot
there,
go
mate.
any lower than that joke, right? It's just all uphill now. So we're good.
Yeah, I'll say Kieran Ball,
Rocky's making fun of me
again.
next to me.
That was a joke.
Yes, it was.
Apparently so. Well, allow myself to lubricate myself before we get into the main show. Yeah, so there we go. I'll try not to have the we've also been joined by Manga Fandanga, our Sai. Good evening, Sai. And any second now, he's probably going to say tip of the cap to all in the chat, because he's got this down. He knows how to say hello to everyone at once. Yes. So yes, this evening, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Hi, Michael. Keep going.
Good to see you, Michael. And also, Jumpy McClunky has joined us. Our Jumpy inducted into the Lego Studs this weekend. I hope you're walking okay, sir. And look. See, nope. So I did do it. Oh, we're both... It's the problem. We've both got control of the mouse for cancelling each other out.
I stopped. There you go.
No. It's all good. So this evening, we are discussing the one, the only... Well, it's not the only film in the series, but it's the first in the series. And dare I say, the best in the series. I enjoyed them all. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. What a film. And hello, Delvian Seek. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I see you creeping in there. So, yes, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. I'm going to do it slightly different now. I'm actually going to do the plot summary or a synopsis first thing rather than doing it halfway through the show as I usually do, because there might be someone who hasn't seen it. And if they haven't seen it, spoiler alert, we're going to spoil the film. But it did come out in 1997, and I can't really... How do I apologise for that?
If you haven't seen it, then that's not our fault. It's been so long.
Let's get going, as they say. British spy Austin Powers is frozen in the 1960s and revived in the 90s to stop his nemesis, Dr. Evil. Struggling to adapt to modern times, he teams up with Vanessa Kensington to foil Dr. Evil's latest scheme while keeping his groovy mojo alive. So there we go. That's a very, very brief, not very in-depth plot summary. But that's the basics.
I mean, you don't need to really expand more because that's literally it.
That is lit.
Very simple.
That is it. So the film is what a film. It's a parody film. It's full of Bond references. Now, if I was to go through every Bond reference in this film, that's all we would be talking about this evening. So know this. If you know your Bond and you've seen this film, which I suspect most people have seen Bond films and they've seen this film is just... We'll obviously discuss a few as we go on, but this film is just... You can find a reference in almost every scene if you really want to pay attention. So yeah. Just to say, this is a parody film, a comedy film. Is it a parody? Yeah, it's a parody. Yes. Of course it is. But it became its own. It's great. And now I'm going to say to you, Kat, I've got a question for you, mate, because this is how we do this. Yeah. When did you first see Austin Powers, mate? When was it? What was your first experience of it?
It wasn't in the theater, but I think it was like HBO or something. It had come out, and I had watched it again because my brother-in-law, who's a huge fan of it, like it literally just makes me think of my brother-in-law with it. So whenever it came out, like pay-per-view or whatever, HBO, that's when we watched it. So it was a few months after. But yeah.
Now, yeah, and just a quick hello to Salacious Rum, who's also joined the chat this evening, and also our Zoe T. Just a quick pop in to say hello, Zoe. Believe we'll be seeing you this weekend. In fact, before we go too much further, most of the people in this chat I will be seeing this weekend. So looking forward to seeing you. Right. So, yes, I first saw this, well, as soon as it was released on video at what was probably Blockbuster Video by that point. It was no longer Ritz. And it was a summer where our family was a bit on its head because stuff happens in life. And I proceeded to rent this movie 3 or 4 times in a row. Nice. I loved this movie. I could not get enough of this movie. Yep. So much so that when it came out on Sky, I recorded it on VHS, and this movie is it was a shit time, but it was a shit time can be made good with watching things like this, can't it? So
it reminds me of stupid humor movies like Mystery Men. It's just it's not supposed to be taken serious. It's just a fun, quirky little movie, and that's what I loved about it. Right? It has so many quotable moments in it. The scenes are hilarious. Like, it's just a good time.
Absolutely, and it was a good time, and that's with so much that was going on in life at that point, and I was quite young at that point as well. It was just nice to have that little bit of escapism, something that you could just, really laugh to. I'm a lifelong Bond fan as well, so I could appreciate the humor even at that age. So it stood out to me. It was great. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say I just watched this film on loop. And what's Rum said? He said, "How has he not read out my comment?" Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my submarine lair. It's long, hard. Yep. And I actually think it's long, hard, and full of semen, is what he says, because they've accused me of not reading the whole thing. That's not this film, though, Rum. That's one of the sequels. But yes, it's a good Austin Powers reference, sir. Yes. So I will give you that. How have I not read it, Rum? Because I tell you, this is why I need a co-host, mate, because I can't keep up with it. I'm terrible. But yes, let's get into some of the details of the film. So, what's that say? I'm going to say we need to bring bell bottoms back ASAP. Absolutely, Gerard. We
did for a little bit in the 2000s. They were back.
Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it?
It was, and I had them. I loved them. Like, I don't see a problem with them. I'm fine with bringing them back. It'll circle around eventually again.
Yeah, I tend to find about every 10 to 12 years, I accidentally become fashionable again.
Yep.
I'm like, you go in the shops, like, they're wearing what I wear. And people are like, it looks so cool. It's like, I've worn this for 25, 30 years, but there we go.
It's a mix of 90s and 2000s fashions right now.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, this has nothing to do with the show, but I have to tell you this. I bumped into my sister in town yesterday, right? And we ended up going around the shops together, and I went into a shop with her, and she bought a pair of shorts that I can only describe look like a tablecloth stitched into pajama bottoms. And I was like, they look like pajama bottoms, like pajama shorts. She's like, no, it's all the fashion. I was like, if that's fashion. Anyway, back to the show, showing me age now. So, director of this movie, Jay Roach. I would say the films that most people here would know of is Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, 50 First Dates, Borat, Bruno, and the subsequent Austin Powers sequels. So he's got a good comedy background behind him. He's done other films, but as always with this show, I just hit on the ones that are going to be the most known. It was written by Mike Myers himself in 1995. Jay Roach did actually get involved when Myers handed him the script, and he did. You're right there, Kat. What's going on?
I read what Gerard said. Nick, if you rock skinny jeans, we can't be friends anymore. Sorry.
Well, Gerard, I did rock skinny jeans, but then I stopped caring about looking thin and young. so I don't. It would look terrible. So no, thankfully, Gerard, those days are gone. Anyway, back to her. So yeah, I was saying Jay Roach, he actually he got a bit involved with this. He gave Mike Myers a big list of things that he felt could improved the script that Myers
Yeah.
handed to him. And yeah, Myers agrees with that fact, and he followed his notes, and that's what helped. And also something worth noting with this film, Kat, did you know large parts of this movie were improvised? They predict between
Yeah.
30 to 40%.
Yeah. I know a really big one was my Hush joke, the Hush scene between him and
Shh.
Seth Green, right? That was like a huge thing. But honestly, when we have a bunch of movies, a lot of the great lines that we remember are often improvised, So I love that. And you could tell that they just had so much fun on this film. Like from start to finish, it's just hilarious to me. So I think they had a good time.
I've just got to say something, Jojo here for a minute. I've seen you wear skinny jeans. Yes, you have. But as I said,
Jeez.
I'm not skinny anymore, Joe. So, and then people were like, skinny jeans always look revealing when men wear them. So I stopped wearing them.
They do. Looks weird.
We don't need the Bowie Labyrinth effect now, do we? Anyway,
No.
enough said about that as we move on swiftly. Anyway, yeah. So the improvisation in the film. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. That scene you mentioned there, I mean, that came from Seth Green, who played Scott Evil, Dr. Evil's son, who's also played by Mike Myers. Mike Myers, who played Austin Powers. We will be going into the cast momentarily. That was just a little jape, a little bit of a laugh, something they were doing when the cameras weren't rolling, and they decided to put it in the film. And it's a joke which carried on with every sequel in some form. So...
Yeah. No, it works. You have to have the right kind of people, because not everybody can do improv. It's hard. It's not easy at all. But I think Mike Myers has always been super talented with that, and I loved him in this. He plays Dr. Evil perfectly.
Well, yeah, and interestingly, something I'll just add here is I'll get a little bit more into the story about why he wrote this film and how it came about, but he actually abandoned writing and proceeding going forward with doing a Wayne's World 3 to do this movie. So
yeah, I read that too. Yeah, that was I was kind of shocked about that.
Well, it was quite the gamble, considering I know Wayne's World 2 wasn't as popular as Wayne's World, but it was still respectably. It was still received reasonably well. It was still It was a safe bet. If you wanted a safe bet, a third Wayne's World would have made its money back and more.
Yeah.
So to go forward with this was very clever of them. I mean, and the story goes that Mike Myers was apparently driving back. He's a big hockey guy, Mike Myers, because he's Canadian, isn't he? He's not actually American. And I believe, and if this is a stereotype, I do apologise, Canadians are quite fond of their hockey. You live closer to Canada than me, Kat. Is that true?
Yes. I mean, it's very well known that they love their hockey, which I don't think it's a bad stereotype. I mean, it's just what they do. Like, some of our friends in the community stream, they're Canadian, and what do they talk about? Hockey.
Oh, there you go.
So, I mean, I don't think it's bad. It's just what they enjoy. So it's all good. Yeah.
I'm sorry, just reading some of these comments.
I know. It's still hard not to click on it.
Referring to the skinny jeans site. I've got Fundifiers. All my jeans are skinny jeans and not by choice. And it was Joe's. It mentally scarred me, referring to my wearing of skinny jeans. So, and Gilster saying hockey is awesome. Yeah, hockey does look awesome. It just looks like an excuse to have a punch up from what I've seen. So
yeah.
There we go. What's going to say? Canadians love hockey, and
I mean, I can't really say anything against that. I just live here. I don't make any of the rules. I just have to put up with it.
Hey man, no judgment here. This is Austin Powers. Anyway, so yeah, apparently. I mean, anyway, back
technically,
to the story.
Austin was for the Russians, so.
Finally, those communists. Also, those communist pigs will pay. Hey, comrade, hey,
comrades, yeah.
Austin, we won. Oh, groovy, yay, capitalism. That line cracks me up every time. But yes, so Mike Myers was apparently inspired by the idea driving back from a hockey game. But then there's also reports that his then wife did encourage him to write the script. Mike Myers, the band in the film that you see Ming T between all the bits, is a band that Mike Myers formed with other people he knew in the industry. And that was something that they were doing before Austin Powers became a film star, before Austin Powers became the character that starred in the film. So
Yeah.
if you actually research this, there's sort of three stories that sort of meld into one. So I can only tell you what I know, and that's basically the story. His wife encouraged him. The idea came to him playing a hockey game, and he'd already developed the character with his band Ming T, who were in the film. So that's how I'm going to leave it there because there's a bit more to it, but it just gets very, very sort of confusing. But that's the basics of it. And I always put notable producers in my notes, and it's something I never bring up because I always think, why do I put that? But Demi Moore, she was a producer of this movie. She helped get the project off the ground.
I didn't even, until like I read that, I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't associate with her with this movie at all. Never have. I don't know why I didn't pay attention to, you know, like the credits and stuff like that. But after looking that up, I was really, really surprised by that.
Yeah, and just to go for a few more bits, because this is just what we do on Real Impact. We go through the basic production notes and what have you, and then we get into the cast and we have a bit of a chat. The filming period was 1996. None of it was actually filmed in the UK. All the scenes you see of the London streets at the beginning with like Soul Bossa Nova and that, and the dance at the beginning, that was all filmed on a backlot in Paramount Studios in Los Angeles, and the rest of the film was shot in and around Las Vegas in Nevada. So but there is a reference to that in the second movie where he's driving along with Felicity Shagwell and he says something like, isn't it funny how all these English back roads seem to look like the California mountains away? So they're very aware of it. Spoilers, Nick. Spoilers. Yeah, there's going to be lots of spoilers. Oopsie. So the film was released May 22nd, 1997 in the USA, and it was released on September 5th, 1997 in the UK. So we got it a few months later. That was quite typical at that time, you know, for us. The production company was New Line Cinema, with the distributor being New Line Cinema for the USA and Capella International for international releases. Here's another interesting one. Runtime in the USA, 89 minutes. Runtime international, 95 minutes.
I saw that, and then one said, no, the US is longer, no, the UK is longer. So I wasn't sure what you found, because one of the articles told me, no, it was the US that was longer. So I was like, okay, whatever with that. But did you guys have...
It's not from what I understand. When it was initially released, I don't know how much of it they've restored now. They've probably restored the whole movie. Some of the nudity scenes where Austin's covered and stuff, some of that was edited out because you can't possibly have that in films in America. So
nope. But I mean, for us, it was just kind of clever because they always hid behind stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
thanks for the fruit, you know.
Yeah, that's what I could find. So some of that was cut initially.
Okay.
And they cut a few other bits. But yeah, so they basically cut it because you could have had it in the States, but it would have brought the age rating up to an R rating, which is apparently bad for movies, for getting people in to see it. So they cut some time out of it so they could bring it down to, I don't quite understand your rating system, but I mean, we've got it quite simple. Everyone, PG, parental guidance, 12A, 12 or under, if they're under, you have your parents, and then 15 and 18. Very simple.
Okay, ours is G for everybody, PG, parental guidance, then you have PG-13, and then you have R. That's it, unless it goes to NC-17, which is worse than R, but that's it. That's, you know, it's very, we don't have 6 to 12, none of that. It's just PG-13 and then R. But so does that mean that no, you're fine. Go ahead.
Rum. I'm not sure about this version of Nick. The lack of sweary language, white vests, and involuntary bodily noises. Well, I have burped at least twice, mate. I've already said shit a few times, so I'm getting there, mate. I'm building up to it.
No.
We're warming into it, mate.
Yeah. So does that mean that, like, with the version that you watched, did you see other people in the cryogenic tubes, or did you only see Ospars? Because I've always seen them, but that
Well,
said
you
that was something
see,
different for you
now
guys.
this is the thing. What I read and what I could find online was that they cut down the scenes with the melons and the biting of the sausage and that in the room. But I don't know when that was done, and I'm also relying on the internet.
Yeah.
And so that's what I could find. So I was kind of hoping you were going to turn around and go, "Oh yeah, I hadn't seen those bits before," but it
So
sounds as though
that's the version that I have, is her, them in the first time when he's waking up and he's, strutting around trying to make things obvious of like, hey, look at me. And she keeps doing stuff and she's biting the sausage or whatever, to make things crazy. And then having, when they first walk in, for the cryogenics, we see Gary Coleman, we see Vanilla Ice, we see Evil Knievel, and then him. So I've not known anything different from it.
well, as I say, that's what I could find on the internet. And also, I watched a making of as well. And making of, someone had done like a real impact, but they'd done it decent and managed to get it into like a 10-minute video rather than waffling for an hour and a half.
Right,
But that's what I could find. So having only ever known the version I know, I can only go by, as I say. But it does surprise me. This isn't a dig at my American cousins out there, because look, we got lots of American friends, but it does surprise me how nudity seems to be such a big issue with your films and the rating system, because of course it pushes ours up, but we don't cut as much as you, I don't think.
It really boggles my mind that you guys have a regular TV show about, naked people.
Oh, what, Naked Attraction?
Yes, that, what? Or like when they're going on dating things and you see like their feet and then it goes up, like that's not made for, that's like cable deep set stuff. Like, no, that is no. So that's a little weird for me. I'm like, this is just on for everybody.
Here's the thing that's going to blow your mind. In the UK and England, we're still considered quite reserved. You want to go out into Europe, and like there are adverts where there's full-blown nudity and stuff in it. So
yeah, that's weird for me. Yeah.
Well, there you go. See, but we're considered very, very tame and very reserved here in Britain, but apparently not by
our TV standards. No, yeah, you can't get away with that.
But the rating, it is what it is, man. It's amazing things that are allowed and things that aren't. And I think the film that always made me laugh about that was that, I know we're talking Austin Powers was the first South Park, the main South Park movie. They made a lot of commentary on that sort of stuff. So anyway, back to Austin Powers. The budget for the movie was, and all I could find online, and I found this on several sources. What's this?
How is that tame?
Poor cat. My mind's just being blown.
I mean, it's like, okay, in Mamma Mia, you see a butt, like that's like the like bare minimum. Like that's as far as you can go without it having like a higher rating. That's it.
But what about like Game of Thrones and that? That had loads of full frontal nudity.
That's on HBO. So if you go like anything like on HBO, Stars, any of those kind of things, then you expect it's gonna have F-bombs, it's gonna have sex scenes, it's gonna have nudity. So you're expected that, it's not expected, but you kind of know you're taking your own risk. They cannot show that on regular TV. So if they had it on regular TV, those things would be cut out. Or if they're like throwing around a lot of cuss words, they would be like bleeped out. Like, okay, I saw Speed for the first time on the TV, right? And then I watched it. I didn't realize it was rated R when I actually watched it because I saw the TV version. So they bleep stuff out or change words and stuff like that.
So let me tell you something funny. When I was in maybe not funny. When I was in Los Angeles years ago now, I remember Kill Bill being on the TV, not very late. And the back of the truck in Kill Bill has got Pussy Wagon on it, right? And I remember watching it, and they had like imposed over it. I can't remember what it said, but it wasn't that. And they had edited so. It's like, what the? How do you edit Kill Bill down? I mean, I didn't. It's like, I'm not even going to bother watching this because if you can't have that, hey, Mr. B, good to see you this evening.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we go too off topic about the rating system in the US of A, the box office budget was between $16.5 million and $18 million. That's the best information I could find, so there's no one exact figure. And the box office gross was $67.6 million worldwide, and it was considered a moderate success. It had a low box office in the UK, and apparently one of the theories behind the reason it didn't do so well in the UK was attributed to the death of Princess Diana, which occurred literally just prior to the release of this film. But as history has shown with so many films, it became a massive hit on rentals. Huge. Boom. Exploded. Yep. But there were numpties like me hiring it like over and over again. So quick hello there to our Stu, the Universal Toy Collector. Good to see you, Stu. Thanks for popping in this evening, sir. So yeah, Austin Powers, moderate success abroad, well, in the States. Little bit of a failure in the UK, moderate everywhere else, exploded in popularity on what was then VHS. So, yeah, and the success of it on VHS and the takings led to further sequels. So it obviously did quite bloody well.
Did great.
Oh, let me have a look. I can skip all that because I've already covered that at the beginning. There we go. Now, I need to make a banner for this, so I'm gonna improvise. So me and Kat have got this thing every time we do a Real Impact. It's something that only me and Kat do. So, dun, 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 Star Wars Connection. There you go. Hang on. I've got something to make this even more special. Star Wars Connection. Da, 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 da. Hey. There we go. There's enough of that. Anyway, did you spot the Star Wars connection in this film? There's probably more than one, but there's one massive Star Wars connection in this film.
Princess Leia.
Absolutely.
That's the only one I know of. I don't know of any others.
Well, I didn't look for any others, to be honest with you, because the second one...
that was it. I was like, there's my connection. Done. Yep, that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest, dude, I forgot Carrie Fisher was in the film.
I did too. I was like, what? Yeah.
Gone. Didn't remember. But the second you get being that we have Filovax, Nick, are you related to Alan Partridge? I could only wish, sir. I could only wish. And ironically, I believe The Parole Officer, starring Steve Coogan, who plays Alan Partridge, came out on video the same time as Austin Powers. There you go. Random little fact for you there. Norwich FM. Anyway, so Mike Myers, initially he wanted to get Ona Blackman, who was the Bond girl, Pussy Galore in Goldfinger in this film. She politely declined. So apparently he thought to himself, well, who else could I get in from another iconic franchise that I love? Star Wars. So he approached Carrie Fisher. She said yes. And she ended up playing the counselor in the scenes with Scott Evil and Dr. Evil. So there we go. There's our Star Wars connection. That was an easy
I love
one.
that session, by the way. Because he's like, no, I do want to kill him. And they're like, well, yeah, we can like saying all these relatable things. And then it just turns into, we have to stop.
My father would womanize, he would drink, he would make outrageous claims like he invented the question mark.
I love him.
I used to do an okay Dr. Evil, but it's got worse as I've got older. So anyway, guys, that was the Star Wars connection. So yeah, sometimes we have to work really hard for that, and other times it just lands in our laps. It's like, well, that was easy.
Good.
So shall we? Let's have a little look before we go back into some of the comments, because we've still got so much. Let's look at the cast and characters of the film. I'm only going to touch on the main ones, okay? Because there's so many people in this film.
There is.
I know someone I didn't write down in this list. I'm going to mention him first, above and beyond everyone else. Christian Slater as the security guard. Why didn't I put that in the list? There were other cameos. There were great cameos.
I had to, because I saw that and I had to rewatch that part again. And I was like, holy cow, because I don't recognize him at first. Like, I just kind of go over, kind of glance over.
I'm going to go across the street and fetch you some orange sherbet. Anyway, back to the lead actors. Mike Myers as Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. Here's an interesting one for you. I don't know if you found this in your research, and I'm glad this didn't happen. I like Jim Carrey a lot.
Yes.
But I'm so glad that Mike Myers did not get his wish to cast him as Dr. Evil.
You know, I did come across that because he was interested, but he was filming Liar Liar at the time. So here's the thing. I absolutely love Jim Carrey. I think he is amazing at playing Dr. Eggman in the Sonic movies. And he's such an oddball. I think he could have done it, but it would have been a completely different vibe for it. Like, I don't think it would have been the same. I think Mike Myers playing him was more spot on, but I don't think I would have hated it just because he's such a weirdo in itself, and he's played some really great, messed up characters. So I think he could have, but I don't think it would have hit the same level that it is now.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say, Kat, you have just as much control over the stream as me. So if you see that comment, which I'm looking at, if you want to bring it up, you can bring it up. If you don't, you don't have to.
Are we talking about Rums?
Yes.
Hey, no, Rafi. My child is in here, so no, I'm good.
Yeah, no, Rafi is listening along, so we're
he's right next to me today, so I'm good.
We are being good this evening. We have an 11-year-old listening, so and I've already dropped 2 S-bombs.
Well, that's why I have a headset, but he can lean over and look at the screen, so I'm good.
And I also know he's got your phone ready to tune in.
No, he did. No.
Oh, did he give it back? Oh, okay.
No, he did. He decided he didn't want it, so
fair enough.
Over, so we're safe with that.
I'm still watching it though, man. I don't want to upset you. This is the thing. I behave because Kat's on. I ain't going back in the doghouse. She kicks you. But I want to say a massive hello to Mrs. S. Vic, she says, hey guys, and Kat brought the comment up at the same time I went to bring it up, so we essentially cancelled the comment.
Sorry.
Right.
But hello, thank you for joining.
It's all good. It's all good. Now, there was a comment by Kieran, and I want to bring that up because we're going to get this out of the way now. The chap who played Random Task, well, I've got it written down here, was played by a chap called Joe's son. He was a mixed martial artist. He's now serving a life sentence. He's not a very nice man. His crimes are pretty much unspeakable. And so I thought it might come up. We don't discuss scumbags and shitheads on this show. And I know I said I'm trying to watch my swearing. So, yeah, F him and let's move on. Let's go back to the main cast then. So, yeah, as I say, Mike Myers, I mean, I normally give a few films they've been in. The Wayne's World movies, the Shrek franchise, So I Married an Axe Murderer, Cat in the Hat. And I think I mentioned this when we did Wayne's World. He was in Bohemian Rhapsody as the made-up character. Yeah. So, yeah, Mike Myers, we all know his career, Saturday Night Live regular at the time. And one of the next person in the main cast who I absolutely loved in this for her acting talent alone was Elizabeth Hurley as Vanessa Kensington.
I love her. She could do no wrong in my eyes with all the movies that she was in. I adore her. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Big fan of her.
So, yeah, what films was she in? Passenger 57. I remember watching that when that was first on Sky. She was very young in that. She She looks amazing. Do you know I think she's actually in her 60s now. I think
She's
she
never not been
is
beautiful. Like,
stunning.
she's gorgeous.
Bedazzled, so Passenger 5792, Bedazzled in 2000, Serving Sarah in
Brendan Fraser.
2002. She was in the TV series The Royals over here, 2015 to 18, and Runaways 2019 TV series. Elizabeth Hurley, stunning lady. I think she suited the role of this brilliantly. She played the square perfectly. She just... What do you think? Let's forget all the boyishness going, oh, we love Liz Hurley. Liz Hurley in this film, I thought she was really good. What did you think, Kat?
No, I think she's brilliant with it. But that's, again, like I said just a moment ago, like, I don't think like she could do any wrong. I think she's a great actress. She's diverse. I think she played, basically her mom's character really well. And I don't know. It's just every moment I saw her, like, to me, she just seemed like she had such a fun time on the show or on the set. And that really kind of translate over. You can kind of tell, like, she's excited to be there and she was enjoying this role. And I felt that through her performance. So I thought she was brilliant.
And of course, if you're going to mention her mum, I haven't got a lot of notes on her at all, actually. But Mimi Rogers, the stunning Mimi Rogers, played Mrs. Kensington. And Kieran Ball had already said in the comments earlier that it's a shame that she wasn't in the movie more. Yeah, Mimi Rogers. So absolutely brilliant. So, and look at this. Mrs. Kensington was played by Mimi Rogers, who also used to be Mrs. Tom Cruise. Yes, she did, Kieran. Look at that. Look at that. I keep saying to Kieran, anytime, dude, I'd love to have you on the show. You're more than welcome to come on the show. I think we'd have a good conversation. So hit me up. You know where to find me. So that's the main cast. So supporting cast, you had Michael York as Basil Exposition, films he's been in, Cabaret in 72, Logan's Run in 76, Murder on the Orient Express 74. Got my dates out of order there.
That's okay.
I've done it again. Romeo and Juliet in 68. Obviously didn't put these in date order. And the Amiga Code in 99. Robert Wagner as number 2. Number 2 was great in this. I mean, Basil was great. I mean, before we go back on to Robert Wagner, I absolutely love the moment in the film when Austin Powers punches his mum.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not for violence towards the ladies, but
it's
given
hilarious.
The originals, given the scene with Mimi Rogers as Mrs. Kensington and the bit he punt in the psychedelic Pussycat Swingers Club at the beginning before Dr. Evil freezes himself.
Well,
that's not a woman, that's a man.
Well, in that shot before, it's clearly a woman, and then the next shot, it's clearly a man.
Yes, so well.
They do so many things that bother. I was like, no, stop it. They mess up a few things in the movie, but yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
Absolutely. And great
hey,
scene.
Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you, Travels and More with Jason.
Also,
thanks for joining us. And Smith Lord Speaks, evening peeps. That's not a woman, that's a man.
And there was somebody else I don't think we said hi to. Rob Hopper. Hello. I think, because I don't think we said hi to Rob.
I don't think we did. So hello to Rob. And also Kilo Custom Squad.
Yeah, Kilo and then G-Force as well. Thank you guys for coming.
And RG, our man G. Yeah, so now is probably a good time to remind you guys, if you're enjoying the stream and you'd like to give it a like, if you want to give the stream a like, you can. And if you're not subscribed and want to see more episodes, do feel free to hit the subscribe button. It's always appreciated. And we appreciate your time this evening.
Also, was it Wagner also kind of technically a murderer too? Just throw that out there.
I didn't dive deep into him, mate.
You don't have to dive deep, but his wife went missing on a boat. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
She went missing. So.
Well, not confirmed. They're not confirmed.
Well, she's missing. Just saying. So
she's missing, but we don't have. There are no concrete, solid convictions.
It's a little sus with her disappearance, but
Could you sound like
just throwing
someone
that
off of
out.
TikTok? Sus.
I have an 11-year-old. Okay, he's constantly saying that, so it just comes out. Just happens.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Between the bad joke and you're trying to be down with the kids this evening, I don't think it's going too well, mate.
Listen, I had one person appreciate my bad joke. I'm fine with it. I'm at peace with it. You should just be at peace with my bad joke as well, okay? It's fine.
All right.
Okay.
I'm not. Anyway, Rob Wagner as number 2, Pink Panther in 63, Harper 66, Towering Inferno in 74, Heart to Heart, the TV series 79 to 84, and Wild Things in 1998. So there we go. There's a little bit of a few other things he worked on. Now, the character in this film who is a supporting character but has some of the best scenes. I feel we've already discussed one of those scenes.
Yeah.
Seth Green as Scott Evil.
Yeah. Did you know it was supposedly at first supposed to be Colin Quinn?
Yes, I did read that somewhere.
I don't think that would have. I mean, I like Colin Quinn, but I don't think that would have been a good fit. Honestly, I love Seth Green. I think he's amazing in everything he's done, but I just don't see Colin Quinn as making a good son. You know, I don't think that would have worked at all.
No, and you think, I mean, Seth Green was fantastic in this film. He played the role of like, he's right. I'm actually trying to kill him. You know?
Right? Yeah. No,
I'm hip. I'm with it. Ah, when he does that, and it's the bit when he goes, "I've got a gun in my room. We can shoot him together." You just don't get it, do you, Scott?
Yeah. No. Wait. You're not going to watch him die? No. I'm going to assume that everything went according to plan.
Sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking heads. What was it? Was it turbot or halibut? Mildly mutated, mildly. Anyway, doesn't matter. The fish, so good.
No,
anyway, we're not going to get ahead in this. Nick.
No.
See, I did a joke.
We could just quote the whole movie.
Missed that.
We could just quote it.
You missed my bad pun there, mate.
Oh, and then I get called out for it. Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, but I did it with style. Anyway, let's give a few of Seth Green's films. We do it. This is what we do. I'm not going to read them all. I've got a massive list. I'm just going to read my favourite one, actually. Idle Hands in 1999. What a bloody film.
Yeah.
All right, I best read some more. Without a Paddle in 2024. Obviously, nothing's obvious if you do not know, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV series, a big part of voicing Chris in Family Guy. I love him as that. And 2005 to present. I didn't realise Robot Chicken was still going, but voice and creator. So I mean, my favourite Robot Chicken stuff, as with my Family Guy stuff, is the Star Wars stuff. So
absolutely, yeah. You know, I think he was pretty amazing too in the film Rat Race. Like, that's one of my favorites, with him and his brother that got his tongue pierced, that can't talk, and he's always like this. I think he does great in that. But no, he's a good actor. That's why I don't think Colin Quinn would have worked as his son.
Absolutely.
It done it. No.
And we've got a couple more to jump through. Mindy Sterling as Frau Farbissner. To be honest with you, I've got a list of her, a few things she's done here. I only know her as Frau Farbissner. Others may know her. But she was in House in 85, Drop Dead Gorgeous in 99. She was in the Grinch movie in 2000. iCarly TV series. That's a Disney series, isn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Hey, Raffy, man.
And
Ant Farm 2011 to 2013, a TV series. And Will Ferrell, Will Ferrell... I know he's not a huge role in this film, but the scene with Mustafa, I really very badly...
He just wouldn't die. Poor guy. And I'm pretty sure this launched his movie. right? This is like his first like kind of leg into it, right?
Yeah, some people say this was his first feature film, but from what I understand, it was his second, from what I could find.
Okay.
But obviously, he's gone on to do things like Anchorman and Elf, and he was a Saturday Night Live regular. 95 to 2002. Look, it's Will Ferrell. The guy is massive. The guy is. It's Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. Yeah. He played. See, I mean, only he could play the non-dying man.
Yeah. And I love that
That's
they
such a
continue
great little weird thing for him.
And it was so good that they basically mimicked the joke in the second film. But I actually think it worked just as well, if not slightly better, in the second film because he got a bit more screen time. Sorry if you heard a wheeze then. Good old hay fever for blocking your sinuses. So yeah, any comments that you want to go through, Kat, before we move on?
No, I mean, everybody's just kind of on with it, with talking about the different characters and shows and Robot Chicken. And Jojo says sea bass.
Sea bass, that's it.
Sea bass, yeah.
I just to Rob's comment here, Liz Hurley, I had an awakening to her when she was in Bedazzled. Yes, Rob, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, who didn't? She was gorgeous in it. Yeah.
What's it say? Jason, Nick, guess your notifications are not working as I did not get one. I don't know. I can't speak for YouTube's notifications, Jason, because they are about as reliable as a chocolate teapot, but we did also have to reschedule the show, so I'm not sure if that slightly messed things up. But my apologies, sir, but hopefully notifications find you in future. YouTube, man. It don't work with you, unfortunately.
It's done that before, like a lot of times, or it's like I've like all of a sudden it's turned off notifications, or I've unfollowed people. Like it's really weird sometimes.
Apparently Liz Hurley beat Megan Fox to win an award for Best Actress at the Kowakian Oscars as well. Okay. There's an accolade if ever there was one. Let's see if there's anything else here. Robert Wagner and Chris Welkin chucked her overboard, allegedly. Oh, yes, his wife, yes.
Yeah. Hey, there Scuba Pete. Hello.
Oh, where's Scuba? I didn't see Scuba. Ha, 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 ha. Greetings and salutations, you beautiful man. Our Scuba Pete.
Yes.
They always... what's this? Oh, I'm going to miss seeing you too. I said that to Nick. Oh, Emma's chatting to Scuba. Emma C, who's So I'm sure everyone knows, but there may be people who don't know. We keep referencing this meetup. So on Saturday, a bunch of us YouTubers and people, members of the community, not necessarily all people with channels, people who participate in chats and things, we're all meeting up in Birmingham. And then on Sunday, we're going to the NEC Toy Show. But a lot of us are staying over on the Saturday night. It's an excuse to have a drink and hang out. Right. Let's be honest. But of course, last year we were joined by the excellent Scuba Pete. This year he is unable to join us, but he assures us he will be back next year.
Awesome.
But no, Scuba will be very much missed this year. But thank you for coming along, Scuba.
Yeah.
Great to see you in the chat, man. Great to see you in the chat.
Thank you.
Right, one more. So, where are we at? I'm going to ask you a quick question before we move on from the cast. Was there any particular member of the cast that stood out for you, shone above everyone else, a favourite character?
I never remember her name, but the old woman next to Dr. Evil, when he was going to like tip over Seth Green. Yeah, he was like going to tip over Seth, and she's like, stop it. And he's like, oh, okay. I love her. Like, I really like her. I think she's kind of an underrated character. I like her. And of course, hold on, Mr. Bigglesworth. We have to mention Mr. Bigglesworth. He's that poor cat, to go from a fluffy, white, beautiful cat to a bald thing that just breaks my heart. But
see, my sister has 3 of those cats.
Oh, really? Those are so scary to me.
They're the most beautiful cats ever. But Jojo in the comment section, I've sent her pictures of me holding them before because it's very novel to hold a bald cat. Yeah. And I'll actually be seeing them on, not this Sunday, coming the next Sunday when we all get together for Easter. And she always says they look like uncooked chicken.
They do. They do.
Harsh, harsh, harsh,
They
harsh.
they kind of do. Yeah. No, I've never
Well,
seen one in person, but I've only seen stuff online, and they kind of scare me. And I'm a crazy cat lady, because we have all those strays we feed, but those kind of scare me.
the strange thing about them, Cat, is they are cats. Everything about them is a cat. They behave. They are cats. They are cats in every other sense, other than they are bold. And
He said hi back, Scuba.
hey, look at that. There you go. There you go. It's all good. It's all good. No, it's great to have you have your little assistant to the side. He's welcome. He's welcome indeed. And G4 said, my cat. Yes, I do have a broken cat called Billy. I may just bring him on a stream one day and show everyone just how broken this cat is. Right. Anyway.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Hairless cats remind Mr. Beer Salacious. Well, there we go. Look. We're moving through this. We're moving through. Yeah. Look, we got to talk a little bit about the music of this movie, because the music of this movie is really rather special, I do feel, for this one. Pete, Billy is awesome. That's my cat. So, all right, before we get into it, so I've got a cat called Billy. I adopted him. I had a black cat called Rose. He broke my heart a couple of years ago because nature takes its course, and I ended up adopting Billy. And Billy's broken, man. Billy's broken. He just, you pick him up and he just rolls over onto his back, and you literally hold him and he's just upside down, and he'll stay like it for ages, and you can almost do weights with him. And he's purring away. He's messed up, man. So, it's one of those cats, man, cats. But yes, moving on. So the music and the score of this movie, score by George S. Clinton. He did films such as Cheech and Chong Still Smoking in '83 to move on to Mortal Kombat in 1995. So quite a different
huge
feel
leap.
there.
Huge leap.
Beverly Hills Ninja in '97. Chris Farley there. Wild Thing, and then to go from Beverly Hills Ninjas, then to do Wild Things, the film with what was the lady called who was in Scream?
I know who you're.
Neve Campbell. Campbell. And then to do another Myers film in 2008, The Love Guru. I didn't actually look, but I'm pretty sure he did do the scores for the two sequels to this. If I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up, but I'm sure he did.
I didn't look for the sequel stuff. So
I didn't look at the sequels overly, but so the songs in this film are absolutely exceptional.
Absolutely.
Look of Love, Burt Bacharach. I'm just going to list a few. Incense and Peppermints by Strawberry Alarm Clock, one of my favorite songs in the film, regularly comes up on my Spotify. Incense, Peppermint. Oh, such a good, and it's of its time. It's really got that feel to it. These boots are made by walking. These boots are made by walking. These boots are made for walking. Nancy Sinatra. Wow. Yeah. Which I believe is the song that Mike Myers heard on the radio when he was driving back from his hockey game.
Yeah.
So
I think
goes full circle. Soul Bossa Nova by Quincy Jones. The dan da dan 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 da 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 da. There you go. If YouTube can claim me on that, then good luck to you, because I can't sing and I can't dance.
No, it'll be fine.
Another song that I've always wanted to cover in every band I've been in, but no one's agreed to it. Ming T, Mike Myers' band that he fronted as Austin Powers, BBC. Yeah. Da, 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 Mister. Great song. Great song.
Yeah.
And there's loads more in it, but I've just put the big ones people remember. And I Touch Myself by the Divinals. You're the one.
You have to have that in Austin Powers, it's so, it's the perfect
smoke
song.
Come out of the jet, please. And I started, Vanessa, you've got to believe me. I believe you, Austin.
That's a perfect song for him overloading the bots. It's perfect. It's great. Oh, I love it.
Well, you think that we've pretty much gone through the production stuff now, and we're having a
Yeah.
little bit of chat about that. The music is absolutely essential for
It
this
is.
film.
Yeah.
It's a good balance of old and new as well.
Yes.
It brings it
Absolutely.
together.
Mhm.
But we can sort of we can sort of get more into now of the bits. So let's become a bit self-indulgent here. Let's do the bit. And I'm going to ask anyone in the chat if they've got a favourite moment they want to put. And Kat will keep an eye because she's super mod. Please put your favourite moments. You're not limited to one, but any particular. There's so many fantastic moments in this movie, but what's the first one that pops to your head? Let's not say your favourite one, because that's quite a hard thing to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the one
It's
I think
hard when I
most
put you on the spot,
it
isn't it?
It is because there's so many that I love, but the one I go to like is freaking lasers, freaking sharks. Like I can't ever get that out of my head when he's talking about his shark lasers or his laser sharks. Like him or gosh, I don't there's just so many. Like it's really hard for me. I mean pretty much anything Dr. Evil does. Like
Yeah, I mean,
I absolutely just his like little with this like I love him. I love that character so much.
I mean, for me, there's so many. I mean, even from the defrosting scene, evacuation. When he's peeing, the score really captures the 60s spy thriller vibe. Yeah, absolutely, Paps. It
Definitely.
really does. It really does.
Their little dance break numbers, kind of, I don't know why, but for me, it makes me think of the 60s Batman. Because it would have those like little,
the camera will sort of jump in and out, and it would give you that wow feeling.
That's what it made me think of is the 60s Batman. But they totally hit it on the head with kind of the overtones of crazy spy movies from the 60s and all that. I mean they hit it on the head.
So Gilster coming in with a favourite moment of his. Who does number 2 work for? Yeah, buddy, you show that turd who's boss. That's Tom Arnold there, isn't it? Playing the cowboy in the cubicle next door. Yeah. Fantastic scene with the Irish assassin. And but even before that with Frau Fabisner, where she's like, they're always after me Lucky Charms. And she's like, it's a television commercial.
Why are you all laughing? Nothing. That's a great one.
But there's so many silly moments in the film as well, because you've got even things like when they're in Verticon, and he's trying to do a 3-point turn with the like buggy thing.
Yes, that's it's like, how do you go from struggling to just now this is where we're at, just front back, and he doesn't stop. Like he doesn't. He just. I don't know how we got there, but okay, all right.
So, Chris, I mean, we can talk about the character, if not the actor, but Random Task was Oddjob, and that's one of the Bond references. Who throws a freaking shoe? The bit where he throws the shoe, and it's so good. He looks the part. It is, it is Oddjob, but there's just these little moments. And the moment that has me crying with laughter every single time, and it's not just the puns afterwards, but the bit with the steamroller where the guy is stood miles away from the steamroller, and he's like, move.
Yes. I forget his name, but he was on Mad TV in the US. He was huge in the 90s. But yeah, I love, get out the way, and you're just that long shot. It's fantastic. I will have to say, his chest hair was very disturbing to me in the movie. With how long it was. It just really, I know they were going for, Sean Connery's chest hair stuff going on there, but that's
it was very exaggerated.
There's one part where there's one scene that he was it was like, it was fine, but then you saw like a side view and it's literally like just hanging off like super long. I was like, oh that's gross. That's
so we've got a super, I mean, I'm a Bond fan, but we've got a super duper Bond fan in this evening. That's our Smith Lord Speaks, Chris.
Hi, Baz.
And good evening, Baz, our Dark Lycan. But, you know, it's even things, and he may correct me here, but I've always taken the scene at the beginning where they're doing the defrosting process of Austin Powers. Now, I don't know if I've always believed that that's a take on the scene in Dr. No, the first James Bond film where they're going through the shower bit and that, you know, that's where I've always seen that to be. But
I
that
could
is
see
one
that.
of the
That's what I
funniest
thought
scenes in the
of.
movie for me.
Yeah. No, I think that that's one of the scenes that bothers me, because after they do the close up of, you know, the other people in it, and they start pulling stuff off, well, then all of a sudden a close up, he has those little things clipped to his ears. But then in the far away shot, it's not. So they kept like putting him back. Like, that was annoying. But yeah, no, that's what I thought of when I saw it with James Bond, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Mrs. S here. You forgot Christian. We didn't forget. We didn't forget Christian. We give him. We actually mentioned him above everyone else.
We did. We said him first.
But Vic, it's all good because it's Christian Slater, so he can have another shout out. It's Christian Slater.
We love Christian Slater.
But what's crisper here? That's not only a Dr. No reference, Dr. Even, the gigantic plastic outfit that kept slipping. Yes, absolutely, Chris. Yeah. Yep. And this is what I say, that there was actually a website while I was researching this who literally analysed every single Bond reference in this movie.
Yeah.
Dude, you could feel, you know, if you were just to do a stream on that, it's a stream on its own. You wouldn't cover anything else. It's so in depth. I did save it in case we ever revisit, or it's something I fancy doing in the future. However, Mr. Smith has actually said that he's going to join me for a Real Impact. I'm going to be doing my first Bond film on Real Impact. Oh, can't wait. And
that'll be awesome. That'll be fun.
Yeah, and it's not.
But I mean, you can't see this and not think of. You can't see this and not think of Bond. You know what I mean? Like,
Dr. Evil is Blofeld.
Yes,
Dr. Evil's Blofeld.
Absolutely.
I mean, Random Task is Odd Job. I mean, you've got just go into the story format. You've got you've got a Bond girl. You've got British intelligence. It's Bond. It's Bond all over. So it's absolutely incredible what it does. Let me just check some comments here. What's Emma saying? Have to run. Great show, guys. Looking forward to seeing you lot.
Thank you, Emma.
Lot on Saturday. Yeah, thanks for joining, Emma. I know you always catch up, so thank you for that. And yeah, see you Saturday. Looking forward to it. I haven't met up with Em for almost a year now, so looking forward to meeting up again in person. So. And Pete here, the references to My Man Flint too. Absolutely. 100%. There's references to that all throughout this film.
Yeah. You can't get away from it. Yeah.
And Chris saying, I'm going to do all the freaking Bond films with you, Nick. That was the start of the books, the games, and the continuation novels. I have enough knowledge to keep you going till Xmas. Excellent.
Nice.
Well,
awesome.
Look, I don't mind telling you. I'm going to tell you. I never announce a film early that we're going to do, but me and Chris are going to be doing On Her Majesty's Secret Service. George Lazenby.
Nice.
Anyway, back into this. So
now, I have little things. So I read a few things, and I came up with like a conflict because I was like, I can see where this is, but. So they had said that Mike Myers didn't think bald caps looked real, and so that he really shaved his head. But then another site said, no, he didn't. I think he really did. Did you come across that too? Like the contradiction of saying he did shave or he did it for Dr. Evil? Because that was really confusing for me.
I didn't. And this is what's always interesting with us both doing our own research, because, you know, we always tend to come with different things, don't we? That's why we don't tend to share our research notes, because we used to, but it got too messy. It's not something that even crossed my mind, if I'm honest with you. But whether he was actually shaved bald or it was a bowl cap, either way, it was extremely convincing. So
right. Well, that's why, because I could see, because it said that he never liked bald caps. He doesn't think that they look real. You can always see a crease and see something that, you know, doesn't get edited out or whatever. And then just a few sites said, no, it was just a bald cap stuff. But I kind of think that it does look, to me, it really does look like his head. But I just didn't know if you came across. That was all. Just some little stupid thing.
Now, there is a comment here that I'm going to bring up. I starred it. Now, this is interesting because nice segue, Palps. So, he says, I think Austin Powers made the Bond franchise look cheesy. It was, and how cheesy it was becoming. And then True Lies showed them what a spy film could be. Now, interesting. So, when I was chatting to you about this, Kat, I said to you that something I was aware of was how particular people had blamed the Austin Powers franchise for tainting the Bond franchise.
Yeah.
And how it was believed that this was the reason they made the decision to reboot and come back with the Daniel Craig films.
Right.
So, excuse me one.
No worries.
As I say, I really must drink water and not beer when I do these shows. But that said, so I was sort of aware of this, but I then did a little bit of a deep dive into this because I had always believed that was one of the reasons. You know, and online, some people do note that they consider Austin Powers did show how cheesy the Bond formula had become, and how it was dated. And I found an interview on AP Radio from the 90s with Barbara Broccoli. Yeah. Now I know this isn't a Bond stream, but this is just what I found because the influence that this film had. And Barbara Broccoli, Bond producer. Daughter of Cubby Broccoli. Probably just got that wrong because I'm on the spot. But basically, she said she didn't think that Austin Powers movies spoofed the Brosnan films. This was around the time they were doing them. And she actually said that she believed that the Powers films actually helped people to appreciate the older films and the genre. Yeah. So... And interestingly to that, so I did a little bit more diving into this, and so Mike Myers was very popular, very famous in the 90s. So down the rabbit hole I went, and I found out that they actually used Mike Myers in the 90s for several James Bond documentaries. Did they did to host them. Funny. Okay, so that's considering awesome. Austin Powers was supposedly a death blow to the traditional Bond films, they were quite happy to sort of embrace Mike Myers, it would seem. And also, Mike Myers opened for Sean Connery when he did the American Film Institute, when he was awarded an AFI award in 2006, AFI, the American Film Institute. However, so I kept diving. As you do.
Right.
Daniel Craig went on record to say that Austin Powers, I'm going to put messed, it's not the word he used,
right?
Messed up, effed up, the James Bond film franchise. The producers, he basically outright said it messed up the Bond thing. And there was one quote somewhere where he said, they effed us. They absolutely effed us. The producers feared people would not be able to take James Bond seriously after Austin Powers mocked with the campy nature of the series, and this led to the darker, grittier tone of the Casino Royale reboot, which I have always said, and people have agreed online, is more in line the feel of the Bourne movies.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
So,
yeah.
My question... Okay, say a bit.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. What's your question?
No. Say what you're going to say before I ask the question. It's all good.
It might be answering the question, so just ask your question. It's fine.
Oh, go on then. Twist my arm.
I know.
Back and forth.
I know.
Did Austin Powers help or hurt the spy genre then? By all of that.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. I don't think so, because to me, when I watch it, I see so many different parts of like, oh, that's Sean Connery, or that's like to me, like it makes me want to watch the old movies. It makes me want to go back and like, oh yeah, I remember this. Like to me, it's kind of like Spaceballs to me. Like Spaceballs, was it like, yeah, they made fun of some stuff, but it was all in good humor. It didn't damage Star Wars, right? Like, so to me, I look at it as the same way. It didn't hurt the Bond movies at all. To me, it made me want to go back and watch them. So I think he helped it. I think it kind of brought it to light to another generation, that may not have gotten into Bond and that kind of stuff. So I think it kind of brought in more people, but that's just me.
Well, no, that's fine. And I think the only fair thing to do now is to actually jump into the comments, because there's been a bit of discussion about this. And this is why I like the show being live, because it means we can bring in people's opinions on things. Let's jump to where I was. I'm sorry. So Smith Lord responds to Palps with, "It wasn't true lies. It was I think he's responding to Palps, but it doesn't matter. So it's all a friendly conversation anyway, which that's why I enjoy a discussion. It wasn't true lies. It was born that made them go back to basics." So Chris is of the opinion which goes there. And Palps comes back in with definitely born. And Gilster, fantastic point here, which I didn't even think to bring up. Casino Royale did it first with Peter Sellers and David Niven. Yes, absolutely they did. So that was the parody Bond film. Not the Casino Royale that Daniel Craig did, but the one prior. And I've got that listed down somewhere in my notes, but I'm not jumping back up, or I'm going to absolutely lose it. Not lose it, but I'll
you'll lose your spot.
Pod Racing Paps comes in with Mike Myers, the star of Halloween. Cheers.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Yeah.
And Chris comes back, and I agree with Chris on this. Well, it's not a case of agreeing. Mike Myers has said this. I've seen this, and I agree with Mike Myers, should I say, and his take on this. Mike Myers has long said that Austin Powers wasn't a parody, but more of a love letter. So and at the beginning I did say a parody, but then I did say after that, is it a parody? So. Yeah, it is very much a love letter.
Even parodies, they don't I don't really see him as trying to be negative or harmful to the original, right? It's more of we love this so much, we're going to do our own version. Like Men in Tights, Robin Hood Men in Tights, right? They make fun of a lot, but I absolutely love that version with Carrie Ellis and everything like that. I still think it's, like you said, an homage to the original, and it brings it in. So I don't know. I think some of the people are just too serious and they need to lighten up a little bit about stuff.
Absolutely. And just to jump to a few more comments to involve people some more. Pap says, "You want a dark Bond, read the books." I'm not the best reader, but the beautiful thing, my son is just to turn 11-year-old is getting into Bond, and he's got a couple of the Bond books he's picked up at charity shops and what have you. I've lost my place in the comment because Cat moved my comment.
I didn't move it.
Yeah, bugger. Where are we going? It's all right, you didn't move it. Something jumped. There we go. That's the comment I was on.
There you go.
Scuba saying, "Craig's full of shite. The writers killed it." Well,
yeah.
It's interesting because, I know this is an Austin Powers stream, but I actually watched No Time to Die the other night, and I came away from it thinking, I sat and watched the whole thing, so obviously it was entertaining enough to keep me there, but...
I've only seen Casino Royale with him. I haven't watched his others. I like Casino Royale, but I didn't watch the others.
Yeah, no, but they're worth a watch. I just didn't particularly enjoy that one. No, that's not fair to say I didn't enjoy it. It just... Chris will probably disagree with me now, but my favourite one in that series was probably Spectre. Okay. Anyway, so Jumpy comes with, "I get the Bond connection, but I also see the Avengers may have been an inspiration." Absolutely. It's of the era. It's all these different things that come in there. Like Pete said earlier, our man Flint book. Sorry, I'm losing my words here. And then you've got Gerard O'Connor comes in with Ludlam's Bourne novels are unmatched. Yeah, my dad but then my dad is a big fan of the original Bourne novels, and he'll tell you that they ain't the same as the films. But there was also. Nope. I'm saying no more on that because we've got spoilers. Me and Kat have got another episode planned in the future. Pete with Quantum. Obviously, I've just given it away, haven't I? I've given it bloody away.
It doesn't matter. They'll forget about it. They'll forget about it.
Yeah, they'll forget.
Yeah.
Thousandth Ghost. Ghosty, good to see you, man. I missed the first hour. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry that you missed the first hour, man.
Well, let's just start over for him. Let's just start from the beginning.
We'll start over.
Right. I'll tell you my incredible joke.
But thank you for joining us anyway, Ghosty.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me see. Go saying about in like Flint. That's what I was trying to get to. My brain does get muddled sometimes. I do these. And what's this comment here from Kieran? No pub racing pubs. It's Mike Myers from the Wide Awake Club with Timmy Mallet. So yeah. So we're progressing quite well through this. I mean, as with all films, we could talk for 4 hours, we could talk for an hour and a half, which is the length of the show approximately, and we're almost there. Now, being that we've gone through the main bits, I can't bring this up. Name's Danga. Manga Danga. And I'm going to bring this up for Chris. Casino Royale and Skyfall, Craig's best. All 5 are good. Solace being my weakest. My favourite is Royale, though, hence the tattoo. Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing with all these films. We all take different things from them. I would agree that Quantum of I think Quantum of Solace is the weakest. Anyway, back to Austin Powers, Chris, because we could derail. I knew this was going to happen because you can't have a Powers stream, and I did have a Bond section in it, so that's on me. But what I have got, just some cool little behind the scenes facts, just to bring us to the end of the stream before we have a chat with people. I mean, there's little things here like his glasses were inspired by Michael Caine's in the 60s. Yeah, and when you consider that Michael Caine came back and he actually in the third movie played Nigel Powers. Yeah, it's cool things like that. Interesting fact: Mimi Rogers and Liz Hurley were both allowed to keep their tight leather suits.
Were they? That's awesome.
Well, who else are you going to give them to,
Well, sometimes they give them other stuff, you know what I mean? But I think that was definitely their best outfit, for sure.
And apparently, I didn't have this earlier. I obviously wrote this down in my research, but as I say, I wrote this over 2 weeks ago now. It must be 2 weeks ago that I did all this. Because we agreed this, and I pretty much did my research within a day, didn't I? I was like straight on it. Mindy Sterling, Frau Verbissner, apparently she improvised the Lucky Charms commercials. So the line. So
well, it's one of the good. It's a really good one. I like it. See, that's what I was saying earlier. Like a lot of the lines that we remember and love, it's all improv. Like
and we said at the beginning they estimate between 30 to 40% of the film is improvised. I do love this. I remember writing this one or typing this one badly. Let me put it in a way that I can make sense of my garble here. The Sphinx cat, Ted, was called Ted, and that's who played Mr. Bigglesworth. Apparently, he was very, very keen on Mike Myers and kept sleeping on his lap, so it was delaying production, like delaying filming. So
that's cute.
And there's and here's a cool one. So apparently part of the influence of this film could be seen in early sketches Mike Myers did. Mike Myers did a sketch on Saturday Night Live, and it was basically a take on all the Bond villains. So I think Myers, what they're getting at is, Myers has always sort of had it about him that he was going to write, as Chris put it, and I think it's a better way than parody, I agree with that, would always write this love letter to the Bond franchise. So are there any bits or pieces you would like to bring up, any behind the scenes things, anything you don't feel that we've gone into? I've got one more little section I'm going to briefly dive into before we wrap up, but is there anything you wanted to say?
No, I mean, you pretty much found the stuff that I found that I was going to bring up, so good job.
The joy of Google, mate. The joy of Google and Wikipedia,
yeah? No.
So we know there's been sequels for this movie, The Spy Who Shagged Me and Goldmember. Yep. And I do remember at the time there was quite a lot of controversy over the name of The Spy Who Shagged Me, but hey-ho. I'll never forget going over the flyover in Poole and seeing a massive poster for The Spy Who Shagged Me. I was like, that's amazing. Like one of those billboard things.
Right.
But so we know there's been sequels. So let's change the question up a bit. I'm going to put it to you this way. Would you like to see another Powers sequel? I have very strong feelings on this. I'm prepared to go into. It's probably giving it away, but how would you feel about it?
I'm not against it because I like the second one as well. I'm not a huge fan of the third one, but since we started with the first one, we could, we don't do films that we only like. You know what I mean? Like we can do films that we're not thrilled about too because it's part of the set. I'm fine with doing that because it is a set, so I'm open to it.
So, about 2 years ago, me and my friend Pete, not Scuba Pete, another Pete, we sat down and over the space of like 3 weeks, we used to meet up every Thursday night. And over 3 weeks, we watched the Austin Powers films, and we both agreed at the time that our favourite one was International Man of Mystery.
Yeah.
We both thought The Spy Who Shagged Me was very, very good. A lot of repeated jokes, but, you know, it still hit well. It still
Yeah.
did well. They expanded on things.
Yeah.
And we both agreed that Goldmember was a good, fun film. It was by no means a disaster, but it wasn't, maybe it wasn't on par with the first two, certainly not.
Yeah.
But this leads me to, it's not fair to say as Mike Myers got too old now. That I don't want to put it on someone for getting older, but
Yeah.
Now for me, I'm not sure how a sequel would work so much now, a further sequel after those films, because if we're to assume that Powers has lived through the same 30 years we've just lived through, then he's going to be very up with it, unless it's written that he went back, but then he's going to catch up naturally. Do you see what I mean? But then it's Austin Powers, so that, I mean, it doesn't really make much sense anyway. No. So
I mean, they could freeze him again, but
I
don't think it would work. I don't think it would work anymore. Like these have, to me, they've stand up the test of time, but I don't think making a brand new one would actually work now.
And this is very similar to what me and Lady Steph were saying the other day when we did Wayne's World. You know, would we want them to revisit Wayne's World today? Some people in the comments section were quite keen for that. Others weren't. I wasn't myself. And so I don't want to see a sequel now. I think leave it where it is. You know, they're bringing Shrek back now, and I know that's a CGI film, but, you know, the hate online towards it already, and maybe that's unfair before it comes out, but some franchises are of their time and should maybe stay there and be appreciated. I don't want a sequel. That's where I'm at anyway.
Yeah. No,
another sequel.
I mean, we already have 3. We have 3. Like, we're good. We don't need another one. I think it's been, if maybe like 5 years had passed, then I could see one, but it's been way too long for them to have another one. I think it's just past it. I can see why there's hate on it, because here's the thing with fans, is because we obsess over characters and obsess over this and that and little details, and I can understand. Understand.
Try
like
not to drop
Shrek.
your laptop, mate.
I know, right? Well, he got off the bed all fast, so. But like. A big little detail is for Shrek is the daughter has blue eyes and she is an adult now. She has brown eyes. Is that a huge thing? No. Is that going to ruin the movie? Probably not. But, you know, fans get excessive and they hyper focus on little things. I mean, I do it with some
you were
things.
talking
to
a large section of Star Wars fans. Yes, fans do.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is her eye color going to be the end of the movie? No. But do we like us getting the details right? Yes. Like there's certain little details, like in Hunger Games, the cat that they had in the first movie, that was wrong. And were the fans irritated? Absolutely they were. They were, you know, but you know, it's just, I think as long as if you have a good script, I think you can pull it off. But with certain things, too much time has passed. For a Shrek movie, sure, I don't care. It's animated. Who cares, right? Like they could pull it off. Austin Powers, no.
Now, if you were to go at Austin Powers in a different format, maybe animated with the original voice cast would give you that, because you could keep it in a particular time frame.
Okay, so funny you brought that up because I found my notes again, and they tried to do that. They actually had. So in 1999, I think it was, you can mark me if I'm wrong, but HBO actually had a deal to do 13 episodes of Austin Powers animated.
Okay.
And it never happened. So, I mean, like you said, they could do it that way, but I don't know. I just think too much is time time has passed for Austin Powers. Like, I just think it's just too much.
There we are. And do you know what, mate? With that, you've answered my question. I've answered my own question. We're at the end of the notes. I am going to bring up this comment of Kieran. Thank you, because I could not blooming remember the name. Michael Caine was Harry Palmer in the Ipcris File. Awesome film. Thank you. Like that. Yep. So thank you, Kieran, for that. Gilster asking, will there be a sequel to this stream? He says, Shaggy, baby. Possibly. Yeah. Never say never. Never say never. There's so many things in the world. The biggest thing that delays us is me and time, unfortunately. I find time is always fleeting.
Yeah. There was a comment from Ghosty talking about Mike Myers wanted Jim Carrey. We did actually I bring that up, so thank you, awesome. You're awesome for that. Appreciate that.
Yep. And Ghosty will be on soon. He's not the next one, the one after, I think.
Yay.
We've got to still agree dates, but he's picked a cracker of a film. So
awesome.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
That'll be exciting.
Someone earlier, just to say earlier, it may have been Kieran, someone did actually mention Johnny English for the sort of Bond thing. So I sorry I missed that. So yeah,
I think it's Gerard.
Honorable mention there. Gerard, I believe it was. So definitely another film which leaned heavily into the whole Bond format.
Yep.
I love this comment by Gerard here. My name is Michael Caine, and I'm a nosy neighbour. Now, if you watched Harry Enfield and Chums in the 90s, you would get that. So maybe very English aimed, that comment. What's Ghost in it? If they wanted to make a sequel, they could kind of do like Casino did, but make it a dark, gritty, realistic. But Austin is the only person who can't see it. Now, that's an interesting take. That is an interesting take. Gerard said, "Not for me. It's of its time." Yeah. I'm in agreement there. What's Pouts? But you mean we can talk about all the movies, but people think are good, like Dirty Dancing? All right, you got to get past that, Poups. You got to get past that. And let's have a look. Fab, Groovy, Livestream, Nick and Kat and everyone in the chat. So we've reached the end. So here's what I'm going to say now. Again, I've said this a couple of times through the stream, but Kat is forever on at me for this. If you did enjoy the stream, please do give it a like. Please do share it. If you're not subscribed and you'd like to subscribe, please do so. Kat's channel, if you enjoyed Kat on here, is linked in the stream description, or what they would call the video description. So please do go and check her out. Kat, have you got anything coming up?
I have a joiner stream I'm doing on Friday with PGM this Friday with Salacious Rum. And then I have my own streaming on Friday nights following that. There'll be a super late one Saturday because I have some things going on Saturday night. So, you know, UK people, Australia, all them, that'll be more of a stream for them type thing because of how late it'll be. And then next Friday on the 18th, my puzzle off with Salacious Rum has been pushed to then.
Okay. Cool.
So
cool.
come for
Check
that
out, people.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the next thing is to say, look, chat, you've been fantastic tonight.
Yes.
You've really contributed.
Yes.
I've made a real effort to try and get to as many of the comments as we could this evening. So anyone who didn't come up, please don't think we're ignoring you. We're never ignoring you. It's just things fly by. You've all been great. Rafi, thank you for joining us there in the background, dude. Good to see you with your mum.
In the background.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you for taking part. I'm going to now try and load up the outro video, which I always forget to prepare before this moment. And this is every stream now. And I'm going to say, guys, you've all been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you on the next one. So see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.